the 7 eternal dimensions of man. What will make man walk in his full element in the order of the Christ. And he said the first is the force of life. It dawned on me for the first time that there's a river of life locked in my inside. You know, I've preached it, I've quoted it. How can something die in me if there's a river of life in me? That means we may need to study the operations of the life within all our time here, and we will not exhaust it. And it's not just a river, many rivers. If we tap into those rivers, nothing in us will die. And I believe that the church that we find immortality, we understand something about the life that is locked on the inside. And the day we know it, men will live forever. You know, there are some men walking on earth who have not died. And there are some men who have defied the limitations of death that has affected man on account of the fall. And we have read of some of them. The hermits. Those are fathers that discovered something in intimacy that kept them alive. They couldn't die. Even in the early church, the story was told about John. They tried everything to kill him. They couldn't kill him. He found something about life that was not written in the chronicles. Those ones are captured in the heavens. That's why when the voice of the 7 thunder spoke, he wanted to write. He said, no, don't write it. There are certain things that men will have to come to Zion to find it. They are deeper than doctrine. They are born in intimacy. And we heard from church history that they threw him into boiling oil. He couldn't die. They tied him to a chariot, drew him around the city. He couldn't die. So they cast him to an island called Patmos. Patmos means death. The island of death. Even in the island of death, he said, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day. He has overcome death. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day. He had taught something about life that death couldn't defile him. So in those days, the early fathers called him John the Divine. They are forces. See, man is a mystery. When the psalmist said, what is man? Because the highest expression of God's creative enterprise was demonstrated in man. There's so much to find. And when you were worshiping, God began to open. You know, these things are scrolls. You have to wait so that the word of the Lord can come to you. 7 things about the eternal dimensions of man. The force of life within. It told me about authority over devils. The power that we have to rule in the demonic realm. We have not known it. A day will come when a generation will discover the authority of the believer. And when we walk in the fullness of that authority, if you come to a territory, every demon will flee. You will not need to say in the name of Jesus. Because the idea is not to say in the name of Jesus.